We are long past the place, technologically, where anyone can have an excuse to not read their Bible and to study it thematically, to study it by theme or by subject. When I was a young man, when I went to Bible college, when I pored literally for hours at a time over the scriptures, I had my Strong's Concordance and my Dixon Annotated Reference Bible. That's what I had. And I would look up the word redemption and just go through it. Every single passage in the Bible of redemption, and read through, flip through, and study it. Now we have computers, our godless devices, and you can put in a search engine and just literally bring up every single place in the scripture. So I want you to study the word shepherd. I want you to read the book of Jeremiah, the prophetic book, the prophet Jeremiah, and read, and just use one of those search engines to look up the words prophet and priest. And what you'll see is that from the prophet and priest, iniquity has gone forth. Look through the prophetic books in the Bible and look for the passages that talk about the treachery of the priests, the clergy of that day, who did not inspire the people to fight for what was right. If you look at the corruption that happened in Israel, the priests were part and parcel to it. The priests in the temple knew that there were sacrifices being made to false gods. They knew that there were homosexual prostitution booths at Solomon's temple. And the priests didn't fight it. And then God destroyed Jerusalem and God destroyed the temple. So there was a price to be paid. The payday didn't come right away, but it came. So you look and see. So it brings me to the second point. I'm talking about where the enemies are, the adversaries. One of the ways that the clergy have been such an impediment is they carve the courage out of people to fight, carve the will out of them. And then they shun them and make it so that, well, brother so-and-so or sister so-and-so, they're really, well, they're causing problems. They're working through some issues. And they cast that aspersion over someone so they can't go to their friends in the church and get them to fight with them. I know. I was in a church years ago where this individual Protestant pastor blessed my work and gave everyone in the congregation permission to work with me. And our congregation became a beehive of righteous activism. Changed the course of America. Operation Rescue was born in my heart, founded by me, but there was a core of people around me who all went to the same church because the pastor gave permission to me to do what I was doing and permission to the people in the church and affirmed me from the pulpit and affirmed our activities from the pulpit. And when people would come up to him and say, why are you letting them do that? He would say, they're doing the right thing. And it shut down opposition in the church and it gave us a strength in the community. And then I saw people in other churches whose pastor wouldn't support them and they were like crazy lone wolves. I shouldn't use that phrase. They were crazy all by themselves in their congregation and just really couldn't get much going on because of the pastor. So the other way is more subtle than carving the guts out of someone. It's what they don't say and what they don't do. When is the last time you heard a really fiery sermon on the murder of innocent babies and the duty of Christians to save those babies from death? When's the last time? When's the last time you heard a sermon about homosexual marriage, so-called? When's the last time you heard a pastor explain that Islam is not the same God? The God of Islam is a corrupt, heretical perversion of the God of the Old and New Testaments. When's the last time you heard your pastor say that Muhammad was a false prophet? When's the last time you heard your pastor speak on things and then lead by example in the fight? Say, we've got to be involved in the political election this year. We've got to have voter guides. We've got to have voter registration. It's the neglect. It's pastors leading by example towards comfort, towards irrelevance, towards a spiritual patty cake club. That is a part of what is destroying this country. I've got to take a break. When we come back, we'll start the process. Start the process with the goal. I'm going to tell you some of the goals. Mobilizing people to defeat Hillary Clinton in November. All right, that's the goal. And to talk about our Second Amendment right to self-defense. We'll start there. Don't go away.